that school supplies starting August 1st every year now through the entire month of August will be tax exempt. So I should have waited, but I didn't want you to have to wait for your stuff. So next year we'll know ahead of time. So from now on, so it's not every year. We don't have to wait to find out when it happens. It's the month of August every year. No tax on school supplies. And I think it's clothing under $75 too, so this might be a good time for people to stock up on that. Also, hurricane supplies will be tax-free all year round. So certain ones, I think it's generators, and it is gas cans for sure, and there's a list of batteries and things used for hurricane supplies. Those will not be taxed at all. So that one doesn't go away. So it was, I think, worth it. It was tough. It went a long time, but I think that the work we did was worth it. And I want to talk a little bit about the school district because I know you guys have a great connection with your fantastic local public schools. I did not go to John I. Leonard. I went to Forest Hill, though. So anyways, yes. Falcons. Yes, go Falcons, yes. So, but in the meantime, we have a great relationship in local government with our schools. So some important things that happened, I did advocate for that. They are spending the most they've ever given per student, which again should go up if you think about costs more to do everything. So that went up a little bit, and we did not end up cutting the IB, AP, AICPE, all those letters. The alphabet classes are not cut. So that was fully restored. So that was something I kept begging and pleading and all kinds of different ways to try to keep that in because it's difficult for the schools. If that was coming out, the idea was to put more into student spending on the front side and not fund those. But we've asked the school district to provide rigor. We kept saying we want rigor. We want our children to be challenged and get the most we can out of them. So if you're going to tell the school district that we want rigor and then we say, no, we don't want to pay for these classes, that was an incongruent thought in my mind. So we did get that put back in. And there was increased law enforcement and firefighter pay. There's also increased position in county judges, public defender, and state attorney's pay was increased, which is good. Everyone knows they're very underpaid. So the kind of things that were done are good for our working families, they're good for our community, and I'm very, very proud of it. $100 million went into My Safe Florida Home grants. We had actually, I think, $280 million in, and the governor used his pen on a lot of things. He didn't get Green Acres money, though. So in the meantime, he used his pen on a lot of things, and that is down to $100 million because he had a number he wanted the budget to be. And I will say, in regards to the tension in Tallahassee, you know, I don't know any different, so I don't know if it's better or worse than another year because it was my first year there, so thank goodness. I'll just keep looking at it that way, and we'll see what happens next year. I had 2 bills passed. I want to introduce Kathy. Kathy Adler is here in the front row. Wave, Kathy, so they see you. So she's my district aide, so she's the one that's in the office most of the time, and she has our chief of security with her. She didn't bring her tonight, but she has a little schnauzer that runs our security department. So yeah, so she's at home right now, and she's okay for a little while, but she really enjoys her job. I'll say that. She enjoys her job. And my legislative aide was not here. He spent a whole day with me today, though, touring the healthcare district, their newest service point down on South Congress. So, and he's at another meeting tonight in my stead. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad for you to meet Kathy, for those of you that didn't make it to the office opening. So the school start time was an issue. Middle and high school start times were set for either 8 or 8:30. Which was forcing elementary schools to start very, very early, and it was a dangerous situation, and there wasn't enough funding provided for the schools to provide that shift. There couldn't be, honestly. There couldn't be enough funding in the state of Florida to cover an entire other team of buses that it would take to do all that. So I was proud to be able to give them an option of having the discussion with their public, with their parents, and with their students about the need for sleep, and to provide an option that they could do instead of meeting those times. They could talk about how they have tried, how much it would cost them had they been able to do it. And honestly, when it comes to funding on that, you can buy new buses, you can spend money like crazy, but you can't make bus drivers. And if you guys know how hard it is to find bus drivers, that was always a district need, and they used to ask us in Wellington to run ads for them, for the moms, like find us some moms to drive buses because we can't find them. So it's been a tough thing for them. So we gave them an option, so they will not have to comply with that time, and I think it was safer, and I think it was a good conversation to have. Some school districts have been able to move their times around and accommodate it, and they've been very happy with that. But the idea that it was forced and it had to be accomplished by the coming school year next year was, I think, an undue burden on local school districts. So that's been taken care of, and it was a tough bill, but I was glad to get it through. And also, the Fentanyl Day of Awareness was passed. That makes August 21st the annual Day of Awareness and Education of the fentanyl crisis. Hopefully, one day we can remove that. I don't think I'll be in the legislature by then, unfortunately. I'm not going to be that fantasy-oriented that we'll solve this problem in that short of a time. But in the meantime, I'd love that we didn't have to have it, but I'm hoping that this local government and other local governments will make sure that they acknowledge that August 21st is the Fentanyl Day of Awareness and Education, and the loss of life that has happened from that scourge on our community is enormous. And I don't have to tell any of you that. I don't know anyone that hasn't lost someone very close to them from this crisis. So hopefully we can help our kids understand there's a new thing that's happening. Right now they're putting fentanyl in joints, and even just smoking what they think is marijuana can kill them because they don't know that it's in there. And fake drugs are made. They look like a regular drug. We need to teach our children not to use any street drugs because they look like a regular Xanax. They're stamped the same way. They think that's what they're getting, but a lot of them have fentanyl in them, and they won't get a second chance. Also, Narcan is available, so I'd ask you also if you talk about that at your Fentanyl Day of Awareness. Narcan is available, and we can hand it out, and we are absolved of any medical liability of doing that. So I want to open it up to questions to see if you guys have any questions about the legislature or what we didn't get done this year that you want us to work on?
So, any questions for Representative Gerwig?
No.
So, I'm glad to hear that you went to Forest Hill High School, and also Christy, because I also graduated from Forest Hill.
There
And
you
tonight
go.
found out that Christy and I also went to the same elementary school.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
But I think it was, to be fair and full disclosure, I think I was there many years before she was there.
many years before. Well, I will say I graduated from North Shore High School, but I did 2 years at Forest Hill when I lived in this area, and then moved to North Palm Beach, and they bused us to North Shore, which is where, yes, Deputy Mayor, is that, okay, Deputy Mayor Diaz knows that site very well. They offered us bricks when they took it down, because I thought, oh my goodness, how old am I? I wasn't that old when they took that building down, but they said, you can come and get a brick from your high school, and I'm like, I'm not sure I really know what to do with that. So, but I know it's a lot nicer now. I have not seen it since it's been rebuilt, so someday I'll drop in on you, Deputy Mayor. If it's a convenient time for you, let me know. I'd like to see what they've done on that. It's a beautiful site. It's a beautiful area, so.
Thank you.
No questions?
No, thank you. And
Honored.
as Representative Gerwig said, her office is we're at the corner of Jog and Forest Hill in the shopping center where McDonald's is and CVS, or Walgreens. So we are thrilled that she's here in our city. It chose us to be her office site. So.
Well, you kind of chose me by having the space available. And thank you, Deputy Mayor. She helped me look. I was desperate. And your manager, Andrea, thank you so much. I was desperate for space. It's hard to find something in that budget. But I will tell you, if you're coming to look for our office, I've learned to say this. Follow the words that say sedation dentistry, okay? If you see the words that say sedation dentistry, you just walk right up past those and you'll find us, because it's office space, it's above the shopping center. It's a little hard to find, but that is right across the front. I still haven't had any sedation dentistry, but I know where to find it if I need it, so. I know. I might go into comedy after this. I'm not sure. So, but again, thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm going to leave some of my newsletters that has information about the office in it too, and about the bills that got passed. A little bit about the condo law too. I didn't cover that in my presentation, but there's a little bit in there about that. It helps people understand what we did change, what we didn't change. You don't have a lot of high, more than three or more story condos, but I think you have a few. And it's been a real problem for them to get their assessments done, their structural assessments, and it gave them a little more time on that, some more options for storing the money so that if they don't have enough to do what they need to have done, they actually can borrow money with a 75% vote, 70 or 75% vote of their electorate. They can go ahead and bond some money and get things done, because we know what happened in Surfside was a huge problem, but it's not universal. It was an unusual circumstance, and it was difficult for the local condominiums to be able to get enough of their reserves immediately to cover anything. So that's been taken care of in this update. We didn't get to property taxes. We didn't get to insurance. Honestly, there were some things that were done. I know I should sit down because you got a lot more to go. But there were some things that were done that I think would have made the insurance crisis worse had they passed. So I'm glad that didn't pass. It's still a tough one, and we're still dealing with the high cost of insurance, reinsurance. The insurance companies have their price they charge you. They also carry reinsurance for the large losses that they might have if there's another major hurricane. So that's what's driving the cost up right now. We're still looking for ways to hold them more accountable, but I don't think the things that were done this year that did not pass were actually going to be beneficial. So hopefully more ideas will come along and we can go another year without any hurricanes, and that will help also. So thank you. You know where I am. Thanks.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you so much.
so much. Oh, my God.
So, and now I'd like the council to go down.
Let's get a picture.
Peter, are you stay up here? We're going to move over here. So you.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that. And Representative, come on up here.
No.
We're going to bring Ann up here.
Oh, you're gonna bring
What
it
do you
up?
think,
Yeah.
Okay, how nice, thank you.
And we'll stand and we'll all hold that beautiful thing she brought.
I tried to write it as clearly as I
Oh,
could
it's
in green.
Honey, this is awesome.
It goes with the Green Acres theme.
Oh.
Does that mean we can change the numbers on it whenever
Sure,
we want?
that's how whiteboards work. You just increase those numbers. And then, yeah, there we go. Good. I know I look like a floating head, don't I, Kathy? Yeah.
Thank you. You know how I feel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And my son's so happy over in your neighborhood. Thank you.
You better be. Let's see if Kelly could top that.
So, at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Kelly Smallridge, who's the CEO of the Business Development Board. So, welcome to Green Acres.
Well, thank you, Mayor.
She's been here
Good
before.
evening, everyone. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Deputy Mayor, members of the council. Again, my name is Kelly Smallridge. I am the CEO of this county's economic development organization. And as the mayor pointed out, I am a graduate of John I. Leonard High School. But I also wanted to bring to your attention that my family's first home was off of 57th Avenue in Green Acres, and I lived in Riverbridge for a good 5 years. So this place is very near and dear to my heart. I still shop at the market at 10th and Jog Road every single week to get my fresh produce. So here's why I am wanting to present to you tonight. I see an unbelievable amount of opportunity here in Green Acres. I have now been working economic development for well over 30 years in Palm Beach County. And when I look at Green Acres, and my hometown is actually Palm Springs where I grew up, I see you two in the middle of a very vibrant county and would love to see you take advantage of the economic development opportunity out there. Please understand that I know that one size does not fit all. What's good for the city of West Palm may not be good for you, and what's good for Boca Raton may not be good for Jupiter. I'm only here to give you some guidance if you would like to take part in the greatest economic development transformation that I've ever seen in the 30 years that I've been doing this. So let me start with framing the conversation, then I'm going to move into what other cities are doing so you can see why you are also seeing growth being on the outskirts, and then maybe some things that you can do to spark some good economic development growth given the dynamics of what's already here. If you don't know the organization, the Business Development Board, we cover all 39 cities, and every day I wake up to provide the services that are on the screen. A matter of fact, I spent 8 hours with a company from Santa Clara today. The executive walks in, they ask for 50,000 square feet of light industrial space. They want to know about how to get in and out of the port. What are the direct flights to Vancouver? Do we have executive relocation services? How do we run FPL power to the site? What are the water resources that are there? How do they attract a talent pipeline? And every day the Business Development Board continues to sell Palm Beach County, but it doesn't matter to us what city they go to. We're trying to win it for the good of Palm Beach County, somewhere within the 2,000 square miles. Remember that back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, Palm Beach County was built on 3 pillars: tourism, agriculture, and construction. And the business community created this not-for-profit to diversify and complement those pillars and to bring more knowledge, information, and technology jobs to this county. A matter of fact, we are the founders and creators of Wall Street South and are now leading a big tech movement in Palm Beach County. We are partners with everyone, and I can't begin to tell you what a great partnership and friends we have in Andrea and Dr. Harris. They participate in our economic development stakeholders strategy groups, so they are always there working along our side. They've also met with us regarding different properties and opportunities so that Green Acres is top of mind when we're bringing in investors. A little bit about your demographics, and this is not new to you. You know this better than I do. Your population, give or take 43 to 45,000. You're right in the middle of Palm Beach County, 25 minutes from West Palm Beach, but I would also say 30 minutes from our other hub, Boca Raton, and 30 minutes from Palm Beach Garden. Your average age is very, very low. The average age of the county is 45. West Palm Beach boasts an average age of 39.5. Your average age is about 38.3. Your working age, and the working age is defined as 18 to 64. 60% of your population falls within the working age, and you have about a 68% of your population is participating in the labor force. 82% of your residents have a high school diploma, but only 21% of your residents have a bachelor's degree or higher. A real asset, 40% of your population speaks another language. You know that. 55,000 is the average median household, but the average salary for Palm Beach County,
It'll come back.
the average salary for Palm Beach County is $78,500. And this is the staggering stat that I think is a missed opportunity. 90% of your population gets up every day to go to work somewhere else. When I'm coming down 95, the greatest traffic backlog is 95 and 10th Avenue because they're coming home in the evening. So it's very obvious. So this is what I would do. I would take those demographics and I would turn it into an opportunity. Younger, diverse population, what do you think employers are looking for? They're looking for that workforce hub. It all starts with talent. Affordable housing, land is cheaper here in the city, so you have opportunities. Take your high outbound commuting and use it to promote employers coming here, and the talent is right around the corner. Take your low bachelor's degree and partner with Palm Beach State College and CareerSource to do some upskilling. Take your underzoned areas where you have strip centers that were built when I was going to school at John I. Leonard that are still there and look exactly the same today. Take those and go higher and put some density in there and create some employment opportunities for your residents to create some vibrancy and to bring in more tax dollars to this area. And then your bilingual population, you don't find that everywhere. That is a real gem and asset. It's great for hospitality, logistics, and international business. And I would promote that to any employer looking to move into this area. On a regular basis, even the meeting I just went to, here's what employers and developers tell me. They want walkability and density in order to invest in Green Acres, modern infrastructure, roads, water, sewer, utility, live, work, learn, play environments. So when I'm working with a company that wants to go to a building, I'll make it up, at Jog Road and 10th Avenue, the employer will say, draw a 5-mile radius and tell me where my employers will live, work, learn, play. Also, where are they going to send their children to public and private schools? Where are my employees going to catch a coffee? Where are they going to go to the dry cleaners and all the amenities and assets that you all look for? A streamlined entitlement process and expedited permitting. I do not think that financial incentives are at the top of the list of things you have to have, but permitting, a strong government, and a government that is willing to work alongside developers and private investors is the ticket to winning economic development. Financial incentives are simply the icing on the cake. They don't make or break a deal. Shovel-ready property is a really big key. If a company has to be told that if they wanted to go to Forest Hill and Jog Road, that the rezoning of a particular piece of property is going to take 3 years, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to just go right up to the next city over to find a property that is shovel-ready. So speed to market is pretty critical. They have to get operational. When I first started doing this, 3 years was pretty normal. Today, companies are looking to make moves within 6 to 12 months. So turnaround has to be pretty quick. So what do I think if all of those things came into play? What does it mean for the city of Green Acres? You could do things such as a walkable town center, a little main street. It doesn't have to be like City Place, but something where your residents don't even have to go to those other cities, but they could have it right here. Some mid-rise residential with retail ground floor, and at the end, what does that bring to the city of Green Acres? A strong economic impact, a greater jobs base, greater tax revenue, and increased livability for the residents of this area. Sometimes municipalities think, whoa, I'm not getting any economic development. Economic development is build it and they will come. So when you take a look at your product, what you have in your city drives what types of companies come here. If you have single-story retail, then single-story retail is going to come here. If you have high-rise office, then high-rise office will come here. If you have light industrial, the same story. So this is the direction, and I'm not suggesting this, but when you look at the amount of office space that are in some of the neighboring communities, it's no wonder why Boca, West Palm, and Palm Beach Gardens have been recipients of a lot of corporate headquarters, Wall Street South, and FinTech, because they built for that. Boca Raton alone has 7 million square feet of Class A office space. And look at West Palm. They have 2.7 and another million square feet on the way between 3 buildings under construction. Now I'm going to dive into, and again, not to suggest Green Acres do this, but to just show you samples of what is being developed, because I think Green Acres is impacted by what's happening in the neighboring areas. So these are the 3 buildings that are under construction right now in downtown West Palm Beach. This is a path that the city of Boca Raton is taking, completely different than West Palm, a completely different developer, nowhere near 1 million square feet. As a matter of fact, instead of 1 million square feet, they're only building 250. I say only, it's still a lot. They're focusing on residential, and they want to bring in a lot more retail with green space on the site that is currently their city hall site. And then Wellington is taking a different approach. They have a 90-acre parcel, and they've decided to do a smaller downtown. And then they wanted to bring in a prominent private school called Elevated. So very different than what you've seen in other areas. Now let's talk about some of the industry so that you could see the economic development vision for Palm Beach County and the industries that are absolutely ripe. And we have the great fortune of having Deputy Mayor Diaz on our board. So she sees these every other month. She's living this now, seeing the types of companies in a wide array of different technologies coming. So did you know that there are almost closer to 600 corporate headquarters in Palm Beach County? The average salary is $285,000. They are spread throughout north to south and even out west. Boca Raton has a decent hold on these companies because of access to 3 airports. Some of the most recent expansions are those on the screen or recent announcements. One of the greatest gems on this screen and most recent within the last 3 or 4 years is Carrier Corporation brought their global center for intelligent buildings to Palm Beach Gardens. When we first landed that facility, people thought it was an air conditioning manufacturing operation that has no blue-collar employees in there, white-collar. Gardens wanted clean. They did not want anything that looked like a big high-rise office building, so they limited the height. They called for a lot of green space, but look at the 8 or so story, 250,000 square foot investment that they got with 500 engineers working off of Donald Ross Road. TBC Corporation, owned by Sumitomo, also picked Palm Beach Gardens. The drink that is the fastest growing energy drink called Celsius is headquartered in Boca Raton. Orange Theory is also headquartered in Boca Raton. So that's just a snapshot. Moving on to the second industry, and we see this also throughout Palm Beach County, could be an opportunity for some labs and research and development to come here to Green Acres. 2 of the world's largest research and development institutes are co-located in the north end of our county, coupled with University of Florida and Florida Atlantic University. There are now 625 life science firms, average salary $117,000, and some big moves in this market. Another opportunity for the city of Green Acres. Take a look at some of the other economic development strategies that other cities have deployed. They may say, we don't want 1 million square feet of office space, but we'll take the expansion of NYU Langone. We'll take Cleveland Clinic, or we'll go and have a partnership with Tampa General Hospital or the Signature Hospital UHS going up at Donald Ross Road. So there's a big health tech movement. With the certificate of need going away at the state level, there are many Northeast medical facilities looking at following the migration of wealth to this area and following the population. Moving on to another opportunity, there are well over 1,700 aviation, aerospace, and engineering companies in Palm Beach County, primarily because Pratt & Whitney, Sikorsky, and Aerojet Rocketdyne were the big giants. That's actually how my family ended up moving here. My dad worked at Pratt for 35 years. They are on in 1 million square feet and 7,000 acres down off the Beeline. If Green Acres created light industrial space, aviation, aerospace, and engineering is a very, very ripe industry for further additional growth. And there are 20,000 people in Palm Beach County in that industry with an average salary that is almost twice. The impact of our aviation industry is very close to the impact of the tourism industry. Technology, we are the birthplace of the IBM PC. Our new vision is to go into quantum computing, and that was the company that we were courting today is a quantum computing company. So in addition to Wall Street South, we're really building Palm Beach County to be the next hub for technology. Take a look at the left side of the screen, all the technology companies that are here. We are home to 4 of the largest cell phone tower operators. And of course, that Boca Raton area is very ripe. Let me go back a few. When COVID hit, there were very few logistics and distribution companies here. Now look at the number of distribution just by Riviera Beach, Lake Park creating some light industrial space. Lake Worth Beach created an entire industrial park off of 10th Avenue in Boutwell, and they landed a lot of these companies. Today, Amazon, just since COVID, has 5 facilities in Palm Beach County with the largest one 1 million square feet. 5 facilities since 2020. And the largest one is off the Beeline. So you go everywhere from the distribution of canoes and barbecues in the Beeline site to smaller packages. And I guarantee you in 5 years, drones will be dropping off your packages. And it will take place right out of a facility here in Palm Beach County. And the last opportunity that we see is this massive wealth migration. So right after COVID, the greatest story in all of the new media outlets, if you turn on any media outlet, is the movement of wealth, right? It's about everybody leaving New York, coming to Florida. Note that $39 billion left New York and came to one county in the state of Florida. $39 billion left and came, a quarter of that came to Palm Beach County. We now have amassed 69 billionaires and 71,000 millionaire households. They need yard people, they need restaurants, cleaners, daycare, doctors, hospitals. And so you see that ancillary services that they all need, and that's creating this ripple effect. 5 companies now, 200, started with 5, now 250. So to summarize, where do I think we can go, and what does Green Acres need to do in order to attract investment? I would seriously take a look at ready-to-go, shovel-ready sites. The less work that a developer and investor has to do. In other words, if I could take your sites and say in short order, you could go to Lake Worth Road and jog, and you can build whatever you tell me you want to zone it for, whether it's workforce housing or townhomes or light industrial, or maybe it's Class A or B office space, it automatically will hit our database. Your friendly pro-business environment, forward thinking, a vision that developers, investors can believe in. Certainty absolutely is critical. Allow height and density. Don't be afraid of it. You don't have to go up 20 stories, but going up more than what you have right now, you almost have to, given the price of land, and to make it worth the developer's investment. Streamline permitting and regulations, strong partnerships with your universities, career source, and organizations like ours. The way that you promote your city and share your vision on your website. I share this a lot with municipalities. There may be an executive that is looking at Palm Beach County that may be sitting in these council chambers today. Oftentimes they'll plant themselves in council chambers just to hear whether or not you're pro-business, whether or not you have a vision, and if you're conducive to growth. It happens all the time very silently. You already have a skilled workforce, and then if there's any desire to have some open conversations with developers as to how to move this conversation, our organization can certainly work with the doctor and Andrea to have those roundtables of investors that we know would be interested in investing in this great city of Green Acres. So that concludes my presentation. I think the most important part is answering your questions as to how we can better partner together for a greater economic development product here in Green Acres. You have a wonderful city, and I think you can also provide some better and more job opportunities for your residents.
Thank you very, very much. Comments or any questions or comments from the council? Kelly, my guess is that after our meeting tonight, we have a budget workshop, and some of the things that you said, I've got a presentation that I'm going to present to the council tonight, and we will be calling again because the conversations we've had and the opportunities for this city are here, and we need to, we need to do it. So
Seize the moment.
So much.
The opportunity's here.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Smallridge.
Our next presentation tonight, call on Councilman Dugo to present this. Captain Turner, and we have a presentation of for one of our employees, and Ms. Dugo is going to present this also. I wasn't sure if this was a surprise, but I guess it's not since you got up that quick.
The bad news is I got to follow those 2 acts. Good news is I'm going to be really short. So, I just transferred to Green Acres in January when I came here from the Acreage area, and due to the experience and time that Beth Bryant had in this position, she made my transition extremely easy for me. So, I thank her for that. She's been with the city of Green Acres for 25 years, working either for them or with them. Since 2016, that's been as my assistant at the sheriff's office, and two previous captains who are both majors now, so she's gotten them squared away and sent them up the chain. She was given an opportunity a few months ago to take a position in the sheriff's office. That's a promotion for her, and when she got the call, she came and sat down with me, and she's like, I don't think I want to take it. And I said, well, who's it with? And she told me, and I said, well, you're going to take it. There's 2 units in the sheriff's office you don't turn down. So she didn't believe me, and so I had her previous 2 commanders call her, and they talked her into it too, and so finally she agreed to accept it, so she's going up to internal affairs. I will miss her greatly. I just wanted to know that. Her replacement's got really large shoes to fill. So I just wanted, as a small token of my appreciation for what she's done for the sheriff's office over the last 9 years, I just want to give you this. It says Beth Bryant, February 1st, 2016 to July 27th, 2025, for your many years of dedicated service to the city of Green Acres and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. We cannot thank you enough for what you have done. Good luck in your new position from District 16. So.
So everyone, I have known Beth a little longer from Green Acres, and this is an outstanding achievement and dedication certificate proudly presented to Mary Beth Bryant for her dedication for over 26 years of outstanding service to our community. We recognize Beth Bryant, who began her career with the city October 6, 1997 in public safety and continued with PBSO District 16 after the merger, is one of the last longtime public safety employees. Her presence will be greatly missed. We wish her all the best in her new role with Internal Affairs, presented by Chuck Shaw, our mayor. Beth, you are truly going to be missed, and congratulations.
Yeah, please. Very typical. She doesn't want to.
Beth, yeah, she's gonna do it for you. Yeah.
You're on, Chad.
Oh, oops. So sorry, Mayor. It didn't feel comfortable, by the way.
So we'll move along with the next part of our agenda is our consent agenda, items 4 through 7. Does anybody want to pull any of those items? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. items
Motion to
4
approve
through
the
7.
consent agenda?
Motion by Mr. Tharp, second by Mr. Nobles. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Our regular agenda, we have 4 items. The first one is ordinance 2025-10. This is first reading on this in a public hearing. Ms. Moore.
Ordinance 2025-10, first reading, amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 16 at Article 1 in general, zoning regulations, Article 4, supplementary district regulations, Article 5, facility development, Article 6, sign regulations, Article 9, nonconforming uses, structures, buildings, lots, signs, etc., to move sign criteria for planned commercial developments to Article 6 to revise the provisions related to sign permits, master sign plans, and nonconforming signs and other signs, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in code, and providing for an effective date.
So, Mr. Gaudier, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to add to it and keep it going. I graduated from John I. Leonard also. So this one is a
Carlos just said, he just raised his hand. Anybody else in the room graduated from school here in the city? Another one. Forest Hill.
Well, thank you. So this is ZTA 2505 through Ordinance 2025-10. So it's a city-initiated zoning text amendment that updates the signage regulations. It builds on the recent revisions that we've had to just make the code more clear, consistent, and aligned with the modern design practices and the current legal standards. So essentially, this one, it fixes some of the changes from the 2022 code change where there was a blanket change to 8 feet as the max height for signage. In 2022, that was implemented and there was an amortization schedule where essentially all the signs had to be 8 feet by 2027. After receiving feedback from some of the plaza owners, we recognize the need for increased visibility and also the cost that's associated with the new signage. So essentially, we will be allowing the non-conforming signs, if they're only non-conforming due to height and they're currently monument signs, they can stay as long as they don't meet the trigger of a special exception, major site plan amendment, or doing work that exceeds 50% of the structure value. At that point, if they do any of those, the sign does have to come into conformance. And then beyond that, it is really to clarify the sign standards to ensure the high quality design and still helping the businesses effectively advertise their business, and also through the master sign plan supporting flexibility and creative signage throughout the larger developments. That is the main change that I did want to go over was the non-conforming signs, and then otherwise on page 3 of the ordinance, there's a section for the planned commercial developments. That section is essentially just being moved into the sign regulations, really so that it's consistent where they're all in one section. So that will move from Article 5 to Article 6. Through the master sign plan, the change on the pages 6 through 9, the master sign plan was essentially added in 2022 as a requirement. Prior to the master sign plan being added, we did put signage conditions on the site plan approvals that effectively acted like the master sign plan, but the code didn't recognize those as master sign plans. So we're saying if they have those conditions in place prior to 2022, they do have a sign plan, and then once they come in to amend that sign plan, it is amended under these master sign plan provisions. That was one of the changes where, you know, speaking with the business owners also and effectuating the sign code update, we did identify that, and it's, for instance, Riverbridge Plaza, they're required to be white signs with black returns and their Gotham bold font. So there's really no reason for you to be paying $800 to the city to let us know that you continue to do what you wanted to do. So that is the main changes there. And then in the master sign plan section also, we had a reference to administrative variances. This has been changed to waivers. Since the master sign plan is approved by council, it's not administrative, and the waiver, the language of the waiver more accurately reflects the flexibility that is intended by that waiver provision. So otherwise, the amendment, it's consistent with the city sign code, the zoning code, the goals, objectives, and policies of the comprehensive plan. It's been prepared in accordance with Florida state statutes, including legal precedent on signage recently. and it was recommended for approval by Planning and Zoning Board unanimously and recommended for approval by DRC, and staff is recommending approval as outlined in the staff report, and I'm available for any questions after the public hearing.
Thank you very much. Since this is a public hearing, I'd like to open this part of the meeting to the public. Anybody wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anybody wishing to speak in favor? Anybody wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing none. Questions from the council? So, looks like you did a pretty good job with no questions. So, Ms. Diaz.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. I just did have a couple of questions. If I'm understanding correctly, those that are not in compliance now, we're working with them, and they are aware that if they trigger certain conditions, that they would then have to come into compliance?
So that's essentially how we've been going about it, letting them know that this zoning text amendment is forthcoming. We have worked with a lot of the plazas. For instance, as they've come in for the sign permits, we've worked with the sign company and the property owner about the amendment. That is essentially where we realized that they would have to go, a lot of them are at 30 feet and would have to go to 8 feet. So that was really what prompted us looking at the sign code again and looking what was approved in 2022 and bringing it back before you all.
Excellent. Well, thank you. We just heard about being business-friendly as one of the attributes that we really need to move towards. So thank you for doing that and for bringing this back. My only other question is in regards to lighted signs. Has that changed somewhat with this, this revision? I know that I had been asked at one point, there was a few businesses that had
Correct.
like the LED.
So it is in here as one of the changes. It is there on page 11 and page 12. Essentially, the businesses that probably have inquired with you also inquired with planning and zoning, and we recognized, similar to our neighboring municipalities and unincorporated county, we use some of the standards that are there, but it would be approved through the master sign plan and have to meet the criteria that's mentioned on page 11 and 12.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. If there are no other questions, entertain a motion to approve ordinance on first reading. Motion by Mr. Noble, second. Second by, I wasn't sure, was that Ms. Duco?
Yeah.
Any discussion? Call a question. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item is ordinance 2025-12. This is a public hearing, first reading.
Ordinance 2025-12, first reading, amending the future land use map of the future land use element of the city's comprehensive plan to change the future land use designation of 16 parcels of land totaling approximately 9.7541 acres located at 6561, 6571, 6523, 6563 Chickasaw Road, and 3476, 3406, 3384, 3381, 3395, 3409, 3423, 3437, 3451, 3465, 3479, 3493 Rye Road, from a Palm Beach County low residential 3 units per acre to the City of Green Acres residential low-density land use designation as requested by the City of Green Acres, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, providing for transmittal to the Florida Department of Commerce, providing for inclusion in the comprehensive plan, and providing for an effective date.
Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you, Mayor. Assistant Director of DNS for the record. So the ordinance 2025-12 for the future land use map amendment, I'll actually present it with the next ordinance 2025-13, the companion item. They will need to be voted on separately. So together, they bring the 16 residential parcels that you see on the screen. Currently, we know it as the Chickasaw Road Enclave. This pretty much culminates the annexation that went in front of you all in May 2025 and in front of the Board of County Commission on July 8th, 2025. They did unanimously approve the annexation, so this is the rezoning to the city's residential low density, RL3, and the future land use change from the Palm Beach County agricultural residential and single-family residential to the city's low residential. The parcels are located along Rye Road on the north side of Chickasaw Road, just west of Jog Road. And they're, all 16 parcels are currently developed with single-family homes that's not subject to change right now. Any future requests would have to come back before you all as a site and development plan request, and show that they meet the city's code and concurrency requirements at that point, if there is such request. We did send notice to the neighboring residents and the area within 300 feet of the area, and then also the 16 properties received notice. They also were told of this during the discussions about the roadway improvements as well. So otherwise, the change, it is consistent with the city's zoning districts. Surrounding it is also RL3, so it's compatible with what's surrounding it. This is essentially just the process that's required to transition and complete the transition from the county to the city. The Planning and Zoning Board did recommend approval, the DRC did recommend approval, and staff is recommending approval as it meets the code requirements, the comp plan requirements, and the state statute.
All right, since this is a public hearing, we'll go to the public on this one. Anybody wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anybody wishing to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Seeing none, any comments or questions from the council? Mr. Noble?
I thought previously there was some opposition by the residents related to being converted over to the city. Are we in any potential lawsuits or any dispute right now with those residents?
So the process through this was through the interlocal agreement with the Palm Beach County, so that effectuated the legal rights for us to annex them within to the city. And then this is the required, per the interlocal agreement and state statute, we have to assign the city's land use designation and zoning for us to effectuate our policies.
And you're not aware of any disputes pending from the residents?
No pending disputes. It went through legal sufficiency review by both the city and county, and they also received notice as required by our code and state law.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion on this ordinance.
Motion to approve 2025-12.
Motion by Ms. Dugo, second by Ms. Diaz. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Our next item is the companion to this one, ordinance 2025-13. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 2025-13, first reading, approving a rezoning for 16 parcels of land totaling approximately 9.7541 acres located at 6561, 6571, 6523, 6563, Chickasaw Road, and 3476, 3406, 3384, 3381, 3395, 3409, 3423, 3437, 3451, 3465, 3479, 3493, Wright Road from a Palm Beach County agricultural residential and single-family residential to the City of Green Acres residential low-density zoning district as requested by the City of Green Acres, providing for changes to the official zoning map, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Mr. Collier.
Thank you, Mayor. And I rely on the previous presentation. This is the companion rezoning to the city's RL3 that allows up to the 5 units per acre. And it does comply with the comp plan, the zoning code, and the city's the Florida state statutes, and the city staff does recommend approval.
This is a public hearing on this one. This is first reading on this, so we'll open this part of the meeting to the public. The difference between the two, the first one was land use, this one is a zoning change. Anybody wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anybody wishing to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Seeing none, we'll go to a motion from the council to approve this ordinance.
Motion to approve ordinance 2025-13 on first reading.
Motion by Mr. Tharp, second by Mr. Noble. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Our next item is the Florida City's annual conference. We need to designate a voting delegate to this. Ms. McHugh.
Thank you, Mayor. As is done every year, the council must designate a voting delegate for the annual conference. This year's conference is going to be from August the 14th through the 16th. Currently, Deputy Mayor Diaz and Council Member Dugo are attending the conference, so we would need one of them designated if they will accept to be the voting delegate. And we will need a motion for that.
All right, floor is open to motion, and anybody wishing to.
I move
do
that.
it.
that we-
Scissors.
Yeah,
like-
okay. You did it last
just
year,
played
right?
rock,
Okay, I'll do
scissors.
it this year.
All right, I'll make a,
I'd like to make a motion
Mr. Noble,
that we approve Councilwoman Dugo.
second.
motion by Mr. Noble, second by Ms. Diaz for Ms. Dugo to be the representative. Any discussion? Can't turn it down too late now.
Hey, you
so
know.
it's yours. So all in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That concludes our regular agenda. We have no discussion items. Now we go to comments from the public on non-agenda items. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on non-agenda items? Yes, ma'am, please. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Come on up. And please give us your name and address for the record,
And high school.
and high school.
Probably closer to the year you went. Hi, we're Mark and Gail Kasperzak. We come here this evening to ask for your help. We live in our current house at 6433 33rd Court, Green Acres, for 40 years. Our property was annexed into the city of Green Acres sometime after annexation. The land use and zoning of our property was changed by the city. We honestly do not recall being notified of the changes. The changes made by the city at that time severely restricts our ability to sell our property because of the mixed-use MXD/0 designation adopted by the city. It does not allow a single-family home and thus has rendered our property non-conforming. My husband and I are in our mid-60s, and our whole family has now moved to Tennessee. We have a daughter, a son, and 3 grandchildren, 4, 7, and 9, and we have made the decision to sell our house to move to Tennessee. We spent months getting our house ready to sell, called a realtor, put the house on the market. We were very excited. We had a contract within the first 4 days of our house being on the market. We were due to close on 5 weeks later, and everything was going well. We passed inspections, appraisals, and surveys. Then 4 days before the closing, our realtor called us to say the deal fell through because of the appraisal prepared for our closing indicated the MXD zoning of our property and did not allow single-family residence. Thus, the buyer could not obtain a mortgage because the house was severely limited with respect to repairs that could be made in the event of disaster damage due to the non-conformity nature of our property. We tried 7 different lenders. No FHA, no conventional, no VA would approve a loan. They even tried people who do special loans. One lender called our house a unicorn. They said they had heard of our zoning but had never dealt with it. This house is our retirement. So imagine if this was you and somebody told you you couldn't sell your property. So we respectfully ask Mayor Shaw, the council, and the staff to look into this matter. We have retained Kevin McGinley of Land Research Management Incorporated. He's assured us that there is a simple way to resolve this issue without changing the zoning, but by adding to it, this addition should be good for all parties. We respectfully request that you direct your staff to work with Kevin and us to an accommodation that can resolve the matter and to report back to you.
Thank you very much. Ms. McHugh, do you want to comment on this one?
Thank you, Mayor. She is correct that there was a change in the zoning back in 2014. In March 17th, 2014, notification, there was notification sent on March the 21st, but on the 17th of 2014, the council did adopt ordinance 2014-02, amending the zoning code relating to the allowable uses within the mixed-use development, office zoning district to remove those uses which are not compatible with other allowed uses or which do not support the purpose and intent of the district. So I did speak to our Assistant Director of Development and Neighborhood Services this afternoon. We are going to follow up with a conversation to see how we can address it so, that we can satisfy some of the concerns. But yeah, we are going to follow up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor Shaw and distinguished council members. My name is Bruce Lewis. I'm a local businessman of 35 years. My offices are in downtown West Palm Beach. I've been working very closely with Dr. Harris and have had exchanges of emails with the city manager, Ms. McHugh, over a period of time. Kind of watching Green Acres here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to move forward with development, but smart, managed development is something that I'm going to express to you in my business, LB Limited. I'm a development advisor, represent several development companies, and we specialize in large-scale public and private development projects. So, public and private development projects are a balanced way of doing managed development, and it requires a compromising kind of situation with the public entity and the private business owner. I would be remiss if I didn't say that there are some people that are very much interested in doing development here. I've been monitoring the city's progress. I commend you on all of the recent zoning changes and regulation changes that you've made and making smart decisions moving forward. The other hat that I wear is I'm the founder of the Equity Entrepreneur Center, which is a small business technical assistance nonprofit that helps small businesses. So as you move forward in the development process, love to be able to come in and talk to your small businesses at some point in time. And as my third hat, I am the member of the Valley Bank CRA Advisory Board. We have Ms. Thea Sullivan. I'll have her come up, please, and she can introduce herself. We're here to help as a resource and lend ourselves to you in any way we can.
Good afternoon, Mayor Shaw and distinguished council members. My name is Thea Sullivan, and I am Senior Vice President for Valley National Bank. And I've met Mr. Harris when he was working for the city of West Palm Beach, and we formed a relationship. So naturally, when I knew he came to Green Acres, I called and says, do you have a need for some of our services? And so I sit on several boards. I actually sit on the CRA Advisory Board for the city of West Palm Beach. I chair that. I also chair a board called the Delray Beach Community Land Trust, in which we provide affordable housing. We've done some unique things. One of them is called Air Property, where someone was given a piece of property. Then we had a developer come in, build them a home. At the end of the day, when they took possession of the home was valued over $600,000, and I'm very proud to say their mortgage was no more than $150 because of the subsidies and things we've done to reduce that. I also sit on the board of the Florida Housing Coalition, which is in Tallahassee, and every year in August, we have our affordable housing. So I have made myself available to Dr. Harris, and I'd love to make myself available here to you and the council, that if there's something that you feel that we can do, strategize on to help bring more people into your city, I'm raising my hand and saying I'm available to you. I thank you so much for this opportunity to meet all of you, and I look forward to hopefully doing something in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both very
Business
much. I
cards,
appreciate
please.
it.
Yes, I want their business cards
Oh, okay.
for more than one reason.
All right, good evening. How are you? Well, I'm sure an introduction is not needed, but for the record, it's going to be the Brandon Cabrera, President and CEO of the Brand X Company. Many of you know me for many years now. I've been building in Green Acres, born and raised in Green Acres. I did not go to John N. Leonard, unfortunately. I actually was supposed to, but I went to Palm Beach Central instead for a drafting program. You know, I just wanted to echo a little bit of what Ms. Smallridge had mentioned earlier today. I think I think many people who know me know that I am a huge advocate for Green Acres. Every chance I get to kind of talk about how much I love the area that I grew up in, and the amount of opportunity that is here, which I'm sure many of you do know, is truly, truly a special one. You know, I think that I've seen a lot of changes through the years. I've been a part of a lot of the changes through the years, a lot of it within the small original section of Green Acres, and the time is now. You know, progress isn't really just about, you know, new buildings and trying to develop all these different things. It's kind of about moving forward as a community together. You know, we can create homes where families thrive and where businesses grow, but we want environments that people are able to connect. As elected officials, you carry that responsibility and the opportunity to shape the future, where every zoning decision you make, every permit review, and every every project that you get to approve is helping to build a smaller, stronger community and vibrant community. But with that progress comes change, and the change can be uncomfortable. It challenges what we know, and it forces us to rethink how we live, work, and build. Yet, it is in that discomfort where opportunity lies. So I invite you to lean into the progress, and let's adapt with purpose. The opportunity is here, and I think that Green Acres is going to be the next big story in Palm Beach County, and I look forward to being part of it and looking forward to see it. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you all have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who spoke tonight. We appreciate it. And it is good to get the input, because without hearing those comments, we have no idea what's on everybody's mind and what opportunities we had. So we really do appreciate that. That concludes our agenda for tonight. We now go to comments from our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things tonight. First is we do not have anything on the agenda for the August 18th meeting, so we are requesting to cancel that meeting, August the 18th. That is okay?
Okay.
Okay, and just an update on a couple of items. As you know, the municipalities have been partnering with Palm Beach County on the development of a countywide transportation plan. The kickoff for that transportation plan with the selected firm that is going to be developing that plan did happen on the 18th of July. We did have some staff at that that participated and listened. It really was just a kickoff. There were a lot of comments made, but we are excited about that. I think this, along with the development of our safety action plan through the Safe Streets for All program, have really provided a great framework for us to start from. So our development and neighborhood services staff are going to be working with the selected firm, and we will be providing a lot of information, and as we get updates, we will definitely be bringing those updates back to you. The next item is, just as you know, the state has developed its own Department of Government Efficiency, and we did receive notice from the state. We did receive notice several months ago with some questions, which we did respond to, but we did receive an email on the 15th of this month requesting information, budgetary information from the 2021 fiscal year through the 23-24 fiscal year, providing that information by close of business today. They're looking for a lot of budgetary information, so we are going to comply with that request. We expect that as this group is meeting on property taxes, we anticipate that there probably will be more questions coming, but we will be responding to those. So if you do get those emails, or if you're getting emails from the Florida League of Cities, know that we are following up on that. Lastly, this Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 is our backpack distribution. And again, the generosity is truly overwhelming that what we get, particularly from the Glassers. You know that they are big supporters of the city. They have spent at least $15,000 on back-to-school supplies for the city. So the generosity, again, is just overwhelming. So we hope to see you there Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 at the community center for our backpack distribution for our schools. That is all I have. Thank you.
All right, comments from, first, the city attorney.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one comment tonight. We've been watching the recent past legislation in Tallahassee. And what wasn't mentioned tonight is there are several new laws that create several preemption of various things that cities do. So we're looking at those new laws, analyzing them, and we will be getting with staff to go through recent ordinances that have been passed and ordinances that have been on the books for quite some time, just to make sure that we're either in accordance with those laws or we have need for further policy decisions on making changes. So just a heads up, you might be seeing some new ordinances or soon new discussion items coming forward based on the preemptions that have been passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Council comments, Ms. Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple quick things. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate and thank Ms. Thompson, Nicole, and her whole team at Community and Rec. We haven't had a meeting since Ignite the Night, and I just wanted to thank you. It was a lovely event, like always. The weather was on our side, so thank you, Universe, for making that happen. And then secondly, on a more somber note, I just can't let this meeting end without recognizing that we did lose Representative Casello this week, who was a fierce advocate for community, not just his own, even ours. And remember when we were up in Tallahassee last year, he had an open door and always accepted us and always advocated for all of Palm Beach County, worked across the aisle to make sure that great things happened for our community. So I just wanted to convey my condolences to his loved ones and his colleagues. Thank you.
Ms. Dugo.
Well, I would like the city manager, and not necessarily if you can't do it tonight, but every time we talk about economic development, my mind goes to the empty church on Jog Road. I can't take it anymore. Do we have any update, any buyers, anything?
We don't have any update at this point. It is on the market. The number that they're asking is way more than what the property is worth, so we are trying to work through that.
Oh, thank you. I knew it.
Mr. Noble.
No comment.
Mr. Thorpe.
Nothing available, no.
No comment this evening.
All right. Just a couple things from me. Tomorrow morning, we do the swearing in of our new fire chief.
It's Wednesday.
I'm off a day, sorry about that. Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, we do the swearing in of our new fire chief, and he's here tonight. Phil Cons will become our new fire chief on Wednesday. So Phil, congratulations. Stand for a round of applause. And I understand that he has been with the city for 20 years, so we are glad that you're going to stay with us for a while. Ms. Diaz talked about Ignite tonight. It was an amazing thing, and it really is good. And some of the discussions we have tonight related to budget, I think, are going to touch on how important these kind of events are, as well as our future. On August 7th, an invitation to the entire council, if you're available, at noon at El Sabor Restaurant. We are doing our second annual luncheon for all of the principals of all the schools that serve the students here, the kids who live in our city. So it'll be at noon on August 7th. So if you can, please come. You'll get a chance to meet all the principals, and it's really it's a very interesting time, and it's a way for us to show our support for them. So with that, I will call for a motion to adjourn, and then we'll take a 10-minute break for everybody to stretch and then go into our budget hearing. So is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, all opposed. We stand adjourned, and we'll start again in 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes, exactly.
I like uneven.
We do. There's some of us that meet for breakfast on Saturday morning, and we choose a specific time. So it's 10:17.
Right. I always do like something like that too, whenever I have to.
And it's whenever time you're
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Around
yeah,
10:15,
yeah.
so we say 10:17.
Thank you so much.
That'll be
Are
it,
you in
right,
tomorrow morning,
right.
or is that Tanya?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to ask for a lot tonight, so be ready for this. So,
Okay, baby.
I just don't want you to have a heart attack.
Sounds good.
No.
Okay.
You can do it with
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. You got my support,
And
you
the
know
good
that.
thing is, you know the banking world,
Yeah.
and you know the opportunity you have.
You know, and Guardians Credit Union, we lend to people who need help. You know what I mean? And everybody, so you know you have my support. Oh, geez, I can't wait to get out of here.
Bye, Miss Quinn.
Brandon, you're staying for this next
Brandon.
meeting?
Oh, come on. Seriously?
She was gone for like 5 days.
Brandon.
I gotta go see her. She just got home. She just landed like.
Have you got 5 minutes for me? Then let me tell you what I'm going to talk about tonight. I can't do it because it'll be sunshine, so I'll come around there.
Hey, it was nice seeing you. I love you. I know.